here and welcome back to Talent Hub Talk. I hope you've enjoyed a nice festive period and have been able to spend some time with family and friends. Today, I wanted to provide a quick overview of what we saw in the ANZ Salesforce market in Q4 2024. Looking at the raw data we have, Salesforce job vacancy numbers for Q4 were up from Q3 in both Australia and New Zealand. But if you were spending time on job boards, you probably would have felt a bit more positive about the market towards the end of the year, even with the slight slowdown approaching Christmas. Although we did see volumes up and a bit more positivity from companies, especially end users, we did unfortunately continue to see redundancies in the quarter right up until the Christmas close down period. We saw some redundancies at Salesforce themselves, in some government departments, as well as with some partner companies, especially in the mid-tier space, companies ranging from kind of 15 to 100 Salesforce employees or Salesforce specialists within their consulting firms. There wasn't a specific theme in terms of what job titles were being made redundant, as we saw several from architects to developers and functional consultants. We did see a range of partners advertising expressions of interest job advertisements, which hopefully means that they're expecting a fast start for 2025 and potentially don't have the volume of internal specialists to keep up with the demand that they're expecting. So fingers crossed, this is a positive sign for the start of this year. There was a lot of talk in the market about Agentforce, of course, which I don't expect to see cool down in Q1, Q2, Q3, or Q4 of this year. I think that is going to be the hot topic, the thing that everyone is talking about this year. My conversations with clients around Agentforce were very much about how companies were assessing how they could use the product in their businesses and looking at different use cases for the tool or the solution, the product, rather than being ready to start rolling it out. Although I do know that there were a few projects in flight. I believe Salesforce are pushing the product very hard and trying to get some rollouts done through the partner network, I guess, to have some case studies that they can be using as we move into 2025 and really continue to ramp up their marketing around the product. So yeah, there are definitely some Agentforce projects in flight or potentially having been delivered late last year. I know that Salesforce were coming up with some different ideas how they could get different companies using the product and really getting, I guess, partners up and running and enabling their internal teams in order to be able to deliver Agentforce projects. There was obviously a lot of talk as well late last year around the number of Salesforce account executives that Salesforce were hiring in the Agentforce space. So it does really seem like this is something that everyone should now be looking to understand, looking to upskill around and ensure they are well positioned should things really take off in 2025. I know there's been some comments around the trailhead options for Agentforce. I think there's some positive and negative comments around it. So that hopefully there's going to be some other ways that people can upskill as well. But definitely something you should be looking at if you're looking to maybe move jobs this year or really cement yourself further in the Salesforce ecosystem, because this is definitely the message and the product that's being pushed moving forward. From a contracts and permanent vacancy split in Q4, I definitely saw more permanent roles than I did contract. And I also saw companies looking to transition contractors into permanent members of staff towards the back end of last year. I didn't see as much activity from government departments, which I think could potentially be the reason we didn't see as many contract roles. Government departments have been the big hirers of contractors over the last few years. So it'll be interesting to see if they start ramping up again in early 2025. I know there's some big government projects coming to the market, some in Adelaide. I've heard of some in Victoria as well. So yeah, hopefully as these projects get off the ground and they'll start sucking up some of the contract resources in the market, it will hopefully create more demand in other areas as well. Overall, I would say that some of the positivity we saw in Q4 was offset by unfortunately the redundancies we saw towards the back end of the quarter. I expect the market will be a little bit quiet until things get going again in late January or early Feb. But let's hope that 2025 really kicks into gear, and there are plenty of new opportunities for everyone. Looking forward to working with as many people as possible this year, and would love to connect early and see how I can help and discuss any career plans you have or potential hiring needs you have in your team. You know where to find me, and please do subscribe for future episodes of the podcast that are coming through.